Well, everybody, welcome to another little work. Oh, that's way better. Now maybe you can understand me. Welcome to Lego Church. This is week number 8 in Lego Church. I'm glad that you guys are all here. I'm glad you guys are having fun watching these, and probably having as much fun watching them as I'm making them. I'm just glad to see you guys today. Actually, I probably can't see everybody. Maybe just some of you. We still just finished up a 3-week story on Jonah, and we had a great time with that. It was a good story. And this week we're going to start another series. I think it's going to be 2 weeks. I'm not quite sure yet, but I think it's going to be 2 weeks long. And this is going to be on the study of the beginning of the book of Joshua. Now, some amazing stuff happened in the book of Joshua at the very beginning. And we're going to do kind of a dig into this that I don't think you've really ever realized before. I just read through things, and sometimes I just look at things and I see things just a little bit differently. Even stories that I've read many, many times before. Sometimes I read through them again for the 20th or 30th time, and I see something that's really, really interesting. So that's what we're going to head towards today. We're going to find something really, really interesting in this story that maybe many of you have heard many, many, many times before. So I'm going to introduce you to a couple of new characters today. We were dealing with Jonah the last 3 weeks. This week, that's right, a girl. That is Rahab. And I've got a couple other guys to introduce you to. These are 2 spies. Yep. Now, the beginning of the book of Joshua, Joshua just got handed over the leadership role that Moses had for the Israelites. Moses has passed away, and Joshua was given the leadership role. Now, God had told Joshua that it was time to go into the promised land. Finally, after 40 years of wandering around in the wilderness, it was time to take the land. And the first place they were going to come across was a place called Jericho. Now, Jericho was rumored to be a giant city with very thick walls, but they didn't know a whole lot about it. So that is where our 2 spies come in. So, let's go take a look and see what happens. Come on. All right, here we are. We're coming across the hills just before you hit the Jordan River, and we come down to the banks of the Jordan River here. You'll see we have our friend Joshua here. Wait a minute. That's not Joshua. That's Jonah. Come on, Jonah. You had 3 weeks, buddy. Starts with a J and an O, but you're not Joshua. Nice try. All right, that's more like it. There's Joshua. Now, like I said before, Joshua just took over for Moses, and they have been commanded by God to go into the promised land finally after 40 years of wandering. Now, as we look over here, we'll see our friends, the spies. They're in a boat on the Jordan River. Joshua is telling them that they need to go on a secret spy mission to go check out the big city of Jericho. They're not sure what to find in Jericho, but they have heard that it is a big place. So they need to go do some reconnaissance and check it out and see what they find in Jericho. All right, guys, I want you guys to go over to Jericho, and I want you to spy it out. Come back and tell me what you find. We're on it, boss. We'll be back shortly. So, away they went. All right, so as our 2 spies head down the Jordan River, let's read what it says in the book of Joshua, chapter 2, verse 1. It says, "Then Joshua the son of Nun secretly sent 2 spies from Shittim. 'Go, look over the land,' he said, 'especially Jericho.'" All right, let's go check out Jericho. I hear it's a pretty cool city. All right, there we have the city of Jericho. Oh, look at that. We already have our 2 spies. They already made it here, and they're at the city gates. Well, let's take a look at the city a little bit. As you can see, we've got a couple flags up there. We got some guards up here on the wall. other side of the wall. Got some pretty big walls on this city, it looks like. Got some more guards here hanging out. Big walls. As we come up inside Jericho, oh, looks like a bustling little town there. Got some horses, some men selling some stuff over here. Look, they got a little fire going over there. Yeah, so let's take it up with our spies here. So our spies are heading into the city. And when they get into the city, some of the guards notice that they are there. So they head over to see if they can find a place to stay for the night where they can hide, because they feel like they've been discovered. All right, as you can see, our spies... Hold on a second. What is this? Jonah, thought I told you to take off, man. You had your week. All right, taking care of Jonah again. So, as we come up over the walls here, we can see that our two spies have come to the house of Rahab. And her house was built right into the big walls, as you can see. Look at that. She's got a staircase that goes up to the roof there. And they're asking if she has a place that they can stay for the night. And so she says that that is okay. So she lets them into her house. And it was time for the city gates to close. They close the city gates every night to keep out the unwanted. All right, so the city gates had closed and they needed a place to stay, so they went to Rahab's house, as we saw. Now, there was a guard there that had seen what had happened, and he reported it to the king of Jericho. Let's read what it says here in the book of Joshua. It says, "So they went and entered the house of a prostitute named Rahab and stayed there. The king of Jericho was told, 'Look, some Israelites have come here tonight to spy out the land.' So the king of Jericho sent this message to Rahab, 'Bring out the men who came to you and entered your house, because they have come to spy out the whole land.'" So let's go see if we can find out that guy that told on them. Let's go. All right, so here we are at Jericho after dark. The gates are up. The Israelites are inside. They are inside Rahab's house. And look at that. We do have a soldier standing at the bottom of the stairs. He is going to go and tell the king that he saw the Israelite spies. Pardon me. Mr. King, I saw Israelite spies in Rahab's house. We need to go and get them out of there right now. So, back over at Rahab's house, let's see what's going on inside there. Oh, there they are. There's Rahab and the two spies. She tells them she's got to hide them, so she wants them to go outside and up the stairs and go on the roof, and she will hide them there. So let's go back and see what the Bible says about this. All right, so in Joshua chapter 2, in verse number 6, we find out what Rahab did. It says in verse 6, "But she had taken them up to the roof and hidden them under the stalks of flax she had laid out on the roof." So let's go find out what she did. All right, here we are back at Rahab's house, and she is bringing the Israelite spies up onto the roof, and she is going to cover them in flax, stalks of flax. I don't actually have any stalks of flax. I only have, of course, stalks of Legos. So she's going to cover them up for the night and hide them so that they cannot be found. I think that's a pretty good job right there. What do you think? All right, so the Israelite spies weren't out of the woods yet. They were hiding up on the roof, but some of the guards came to question Rahab. And here's what she said to them. "Yes, the men came to me, but I did not know where they had come from. At dusk, when it was time to close the city gate, the men left. I don't know which way they went. Go after them quickly. You may catch up with them." And so the guards left to go pursue the Israelites that were actually hiding up on the roof. Let's go find out what happened. Now we see a few moments later, there's our guards up on the roof, covered by the Legos. And Rahab is right below being questioned by the guards. Where'd they go? She tells them, "I have no idea." They left as soon as they were done here. You may find them if you head out the gates right now. So, the guards take off and they leave. Gates go down. The gate comes back down and out go the guards away from the city. And there goes the horse as well, heading out, chasing after the Israelite spies, who were actually up on the roof. Okay, we're almost at the end of our story for this week, but there's one more amazing part of the story that you need to pay attention to. Now, while the Israelites were up on the roof hiding, Rahab knew that the Israelites were going to come in and destroy Jericho. There had been rumors throughout the city about the Israelites and how they had been freed from Egypt at the hand of God, and all the miracles that had happened, the parting of the Red Sea, and all that great stuff. So she wanted to cut a deal with them. She asked if her family could be spared when the Israelites come to take over Jericho. She wanted her whole family spared because of her kindness. So what the spies said was, "Sure thing, Rahab. Your house will be spared in the destruction of Jericho. Your house will be the only thing standing. But in order to do that, you need to make sure your family is inside your house when we come. And the way that we're going to know is you need to put a red cord outside the window so that we are aware of where you live." So she agreed to do that, and she let them down the cord that night. She told them to go and hide in the wilderness for 3 days. And then everything will be clear, and they can go back to the Jordan River where Joshua and the rest of the Israelites are. So let's go take a look and see what happened. Okay, so here we are back at Rahab's house, and she is now inside making the deal with the spies. And they agree that her house will be saved when the Israelites come. So she is going to put a red cord out the window, and they are going to crawl down that cord and get away safely. And she is to keep that red cord hanging in the window there, so that the Israelites know that this is Rahab's house. All right, so we are going to end our story there this week. I know it seems like kind of a weird place to end it, but you know what? There's something really amazing there in the end of that story. Now, remember a couple weeks ago when I had my son Sam come in and help us out with the story of Jonah? I think we need to bring him back in here, and he can help us out with the ending of this story. Let's go bring Sam in here. Hey everybody, here I am with my buddy Sam. Sam's my son. He is how old?
Hi. 7.
He is 7 years old, that is correct. Check out his cool shirt. He matches my shirt. Very cool. We're going to ask Sam some questions today, just like we did a couple weeks ago. So, in the story today, who came to visit Rahab?
2 spies.
2 spies, that is correct. They were the spies from Israel. Now, when they met Rahab, do you remember Rahab? There's Rahab. Remember Rahab? She was where they went to hide. Now, what did Rahab ask the 2 spies for?
For her family to not get hurt.
That is right. She had heard about the Israelites and knew that they were going to take over Jericho, and she wanted to be saved. She did not want to die. Now, who else in the Bible saved us from death?
Jesus.
That is correct, Jesus. So the spies promised that they were going to save her from death. Now, how were the Israelites going to know what house was hers? Do you remember?
Red cloth.
That is right. And where'd they put the red cloth?
Through the window.
That's right. She put a red cloth out the window. Now, who else saved us by something red in the Bible?
Jesus' blood.
Jesus' blood. That's right. Jesus' blood saved us with something red. So the red cloth, right? Red cloth hung out the window was the symbol that was Rahab's house, and that would be the house that would be saved. Now, What did Rahab tell the spies to go to after they climbed out the window?
Into the wilderness for 3 days.
3 days. They went and hid in the wilderness for 3 days. So Rahab's saviors went to hide in the wilderness for 3 days after climbing down a red cloth, right? Who else in the Bible went somewhere for 3 days? Do you know?
Jesus.
Jesus went into the tomb for 3 days and was raised again, and that is what saved us. So here we find again another parallel from the Old Testament to the New Testament and Jesus. A lot of stories in the Old Testament point forward to Jesus. Are you okay?
Yeah.
Okay, just checking. All right, so this is my buddy Sam again. He did such a great job today, and this was another great lesson that points forward to Jesus.
Be safe. And
All right, now how amazing was that? Once again, we have another story, just like Jonah did a couple weeks ago. It points towards Jesus. How amazing is that? This story of salvation here for Rahab and the spies is pointing towards Jesus. It is just amazing how the Old Testament, you will find this over and over again in the Old Testament, different ways that subtly point toward Jesus. So guys, I hope you really enjoyed our story this week. Next week, we are going to pick up where we left off with the spies heading back to the Jordan River after spending 3 days in the wilderness, hiding from the Jericho soldiers. And we'll pick it up there and find out what happens next. So make sure you come back next week. I'm looking forward to it. Have a good week.
Wasn't Lego Church awesome today, you guys? I know I really enjoyed it. Hey, we want to see you guys. We want your pictures. So have your parents email us pictures of you either playing with Legos, doing your schoolwork, going on a bike ride, walking, or just hanging out as a family. So if you guys can have your parents send them to Scott and Britta at alccorting.com, we are going to make a special thing just for you guys. So make sure you join us next week as we're going to continue on with Lego Church. We love and miss you, and we're praying for you, and we're always here for you. If you want to video chat with us, or you want to call us, or you want us just to drive by and wave at you, we would love to. So let us know. Hey, have a great day. Love you guys. Bye. Mwah.